Hello guys, my name is Mathias. I play guitar for Jean-Pierre Danel, and pretty regularly fans and friends have questions about JP's guitar rig, so we thought we would put a little homemade video just to take the time to go over his amps, what pedals he uses, and what might be the hidden secrets of JP's sound, besides that lovely 1954 Stratocaster. Talking about hidden secrets, that's not really one of them, at least if you're familiar with JP's work, of course. This is JP's main guitar, Miss Daisy, a Stratocaster from 1954, the first year of production of Stratocasters. She's a pre-series, or pre-production Stratocaster. What that means is she's one of the very first Stratocasters ever made, and she's one of those 60 to 70 guitars that have been made by Fender before Fender put out a Stratocaster with the number 0001 on it. These very few pre-series guitars are considered to be the best Stratocasters ever made, and if not the best, some of the best electric guitars ever created. Contrary to most of her sisters that are locked in safes, Miss Daisy is being recorded, played, and heard, and some people might disagree, but I think that's a great thing. This is a JP Fender Twin 1955, one of the first made. This amp is mainly used for overdriven and saturated sounds. It has a quantity of warmth and loving in the mid-frequencies that no modern amp can possibly offer. Then we have a true star of vintage tape delays, the famous Roland Space Echo RE201. This one is from the 70s. A really nice piece of gear that works really well with its partner in crime, the Vox AC30. This one is from 1963, which is a great year for Vox AC30s, since just like the greatest red wines, the AC30s have better years than others, and 63 is a great year if you like your Vox to be a little gritty and not perfectly clean. Most of JP's clean tone are basically the Strat, plugged into the Space Echo, then hitting the AC30. You know, just honoring the great legacy of Hank Marvin. This is JP's pedal board that he uses in live situations as well as in the studio. If you are saying to yourself, oh my god, he's got a 1954 Strat and he's got to be ruining the tone of this guitar with all these pedals, don't worry, that's not what's going on, because it's a great configuration and only just a couple of pedals are connected at all times, like this compression sustainer CS2, the original one. Only the original one is actually very transparent. It's great to push a little overdrive if you want to, but from a very slight compression to a really strong squeeze, it stays very transparent and very musical. Like this BB preamp, very transparent, very musical too. And what I mean by transparent is it preserves the tone of the guitar, but also all the dynamics of the guitar player, which is really the priority here, is preserving the tone and the quality of the performance and the musicality of the performance. Anyway, especially with that kind of guitars. But JP doesn't use a lot of effects. Sometimes he will want to use a bunch of pedals at once on one song for the sake of texture, but most of the time he doesn't use a lot of effects. The idea is to have very clean signal path with good cables so he can record with it without worrying about the tone. But 80% of the time, the only pedal he uses is this tuner. Actually, this tuner is a good one. A little bit of compression once in a great while, and the BB preamp for some overdrive. That's it. Now, whether he's experimenting in the studio or trying to create a texture for a song, or maybe trying a different overdriven sound for a solo, he's going to use this router. If you press here, you activate a full effect loop, meaning you're bringing all these pedals. That's the loop A here, and you have a loop B. If you press there, you're bringing all the pedals on the right hand side into the game. But if no effects loop are activated, the signal of the guitar only goes through the compression in the BB preamp. This is an amp selector that allows him to switch between the Fender amp and the green light for the Vox amp. Can also have both amps work at the same time. Here we have a Carl Martin EQ pedal EQ pedals can be very dangerous to your tone. They're notorious for ruining it. The Colin Martin is a great pedal, and it's actually absolutely transparent whenever it's not on. That's the only EQ pedal I would trust with the Empress Power EQ. Anyway, we don't use that to completely change the guitar tone, although you can, but it's more to enhance a couple of frequencies on the box in the studio, so the guitar can cut or sit better in the mix. Sometimes it's more efficient to do that on an EQ pedal than on the mixing board afterwards. Then we have the Eventide Time Factor, that's a delay pedal. To get another color of delay than the Space Echo, JP uses that mainly for lead saturated tones or for an occasional slapback on bluesier tunes. The only preset we use on that pedal is the Vintage Delay, surprisingly. Just kidding. Under that we have a stereo chorus by MXR, one of the rare chorus pedals that sounds warm. JP doesn't use this pedal often, but it sounds great when he does. Then we have the Micro Vibe for Hendrix-ish, Gilmour-ish sort of tones. There are a lot of vibe pedals on the market, and the Micro Vibe is not the most expensive, but one of the greatest sounding for sure. Voodoo Lab is the company that does that. We're finishing up our tour with a powerful section of the pedal board, starting with the Tube Driver, which is a fantastic saturation pedal. It's highly coveted for a few reasons. It sounds very natural and sounds warm, and even when you have a really high gain setting and it's really saturated, you can still hear the dynamics of the guitar player, and that's really cool. JP has a great piece of music called The Pink Side of Miss Daisy, in which he uses a combination of the last three pedals, these three, the ones we haven't talked about, and it's quite a powerful trio actually. You have the Big Muff, which is a legendary pedal for nasty and gritty powerful distortion, then the Whammy that allows one player to bring one octave up the notes he plays, and finally the Volume Pedal. JP uses the volume pedal in the intro of Big Side of Miss Daisy to do some what we call volume swells. The connoisseur must have recognized by now the Morley Volume Pedal. If you don't own a volume pedal by the brand Morley, you can skip the next 15 seconds. I just wanted to mention that there's a way to fix the new ones and have them work as well as the old ones. With the new ones, whenever you do a volume swell, just like that, the volume of the guitar is pretty much not there at all, and then it raises very abruptly and not in a musical way. There's a way to fix that. You need to open the pedal. There's forums about it, there's videos about it. If you can't find it, just hit us up on Facebook. I'll be more than happy to help. And you'll be as happy as JP the day I fixed his. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.